Hey guys, so a leg workout for you today. This was yesterday, it was Christmas Eve, and really good session, very, very good. So at the moment, presently, my leg sessions are split. I have one, which is this one, which is more hamstring glute focused, and I have another one earlier in the week usually, which is way more quad focused. There are still, as you can see, decent amount of quad moves. For the most part, every exercise that you see in this session, and not every single one was shown, which I'll talk through, is 2 sets. Literally just 2 sets. My overall volume at the moment is probably actually slightly lower than when I was prepping. For a reason being, my intensity is far greater. My ability to gather intensity and also recover from intensity from a CNS perspective is greatly improved as a result of being in a moderate calorie surplus. So, as opposed to a slight calorie deficit. So yes, I am in a position now where I can push forward, which is really exciting. So lifts are coming up. I hit PRs today, as you all will see, and I will talk through in terms of the numbers that I beat. I'm really enjoying sumo deadlifts. My adductors are in another world of fucked up this morning, which is superb. It's Christmas Day, so happy Christmas. I've got a red hoodie on to signify the day. And I'm actually going to get a back workout in this morning, or pull. So which will be exciting. I don't think I'll be able to film it purely because it's going to be a bit of a varied session, purely because intensities and things like that will have to be a bit lower, volume a bit higher, purely because of lack of time. But that'll be exciting. I'm very well. Obviously, I've got things going on at the moment, but nevertheless, I'm still cracking on with the same element of consistency, and I'm looking forward to pushing calories up a little bit higher. They've been a little bit lower, probably over the last week. One, because I knew Christmas was coming up. Two, partly because of Prague, the inconsistency there. I haven't weighed in, but I'm certainly leaner. I will try and get some shots, but I'm certainly I was basically holding like a weird amount of like water weight from the amount of carbohydrates I was eating. I was eating 750 a day. I didn't look bad, but I was just really looking like I'd accumulated a lot of water weight and a lot of glycogen and just this constant spilled over look, which I wasn't really liking. So I've sort of resensitized this week a little bit. I actually feel a lot better. So I was starting to feel actually a little bit sluggish on that kind of intake, which makes me think that when I bring food up again, I'll actually start bringing fats up a little bit more and not prioritise carbs so much. Carbs are nice, yeah, but after a while you kind of get bored of them. But from a nutritional perspective, I'm good. I imagine with the way that I'm looking in the mirror, so I'm very in tune with my body, I'm probably in the low 150s. So my stage weight was 148, probably hanging in the low 150s. So I'm pretty fucking strong for someone who weighs nothing at the moment. So really exciting, and looking forward to the new year. Looking forward to pushing forwards. A few weeks here and there. The moment which will be a little bit skew-if with seeing family and things like that, but I'll still be very consistent as much as I can do, and still be training, of course. And then in the new year, I've got some really exciting things to share with you guys. Really exciting. And the member site is only going to get better. Only going to get better. You'll notice in the footage, way better quality because I'm using my camera again. And let me know what you want to see, guys. Also, if you watch this bit, I love you. Wow, something just fell over. Also, if you can take a screenshot of this, put it on your Instagram and say you're watching the members site video, I'd love that. Share it, guys. Share it on your Instagram that you're watching the members site videos, and maybe if you have some good words to say about it, please let people know on Instagram, because New Year is going to be a big push for this members site. I would like 1,000 members by the end of next year. I'm saying it, So let's kill it, guys, and hope you enjoyed this. Okay, guys, so legs, here we are. And starting off, as usual, with lying leg curls. I always start, or I've started very recently in the past, my leg workouts with some leg curl variation. My hamstrings are not weak anymore, and I really do believe that it's down to this. Even during prep, I was doing this, and I think that it helped me retain my hamstring mass far greater than in the past. So cues on these guys: hips down into the pad, like feel like you're humping the pad. I like to angle my feet up, so toes up, and then just curl the hamstring up into a ball, and you should get great contractions. I did 5 sets, really short rest periods of 10 there. So that's my only high volume movement, is that hamstring move, in terms of the amount of sets done. This was my second set on sumos. I got 160 for 8 on my first. It's my second, and here we go. My shins are absolutely fucked. But I'm pretty much touch and go on these guys. I was really happy with how these look. So look at this. So I get into my groove around about rep 4. And I start sort of like getting a good sort of hit off the floor. And then all I'm thinking about is breaking the floor with my hips. So I'm pushing my knees out. I'm trying to keep my hips externally rotated. And then I'm trying to hip extend as soon as the bar reaches above my knee. Hip extend, boom. Hips, boom, through. And this is where it gets tough. It's cardiovascular now. My cardiovascular fitness is good, but I can imagine these will get tougher. Another good cue on sumo deadlift is head up. So as you can see, like for a conventional, you might want to head down at some point, purely to keep a neutral spine. But on a sumo, you might actually want your head up, again, to create that neutral spine, and get you in a position where you can lock out really, really nice and strong. So as you can see here, I'm setting up myself for the hack. So hack squats are something that I do put in on this day purely for lower back support. So if I was to go straight from a sumo into a normal barbell back squat, the reality is I'd take away from my ability to engage my quads and to get good quad work from the fact that my lower back and my lumbar was already fatigued. So this was my first top set. I did my first set. I only did 2 sets here. So this was 80 kilos a side, and I got 7 reps, I believe. You can count and tell me that I'm wrong. But essentially on these guys, a way to make the hack squat feel incredible is, again, turn on your quads before you initiate the descent. So by doing so, what I really think about is okay, I'm going to slightly externally rotate at the hip, and I'm going to, by doing that, I'll force my knees out slightly. So think slightly externally rotate at the hip, slightly tilt your knees out, so externally rotate, and then heels hard into the pad. And you should light up your quads on the way down. Your quads should be absolutely on the way down, and then as soon as you hit the bottom, you are tight. You are on your quads, and all you have to do is push again through the heels, through the weight plate, or through the pad, and then you're coming up. Big tip on these again, guys, is for me, I love closing my eyes and just taking myself to a different place and just pretending like there's no weight on it. Second set here of 2, and this was my lighter set. So this was 70 kilos a side. I'm not sure as to the total weight, but it was good amount of weight for this rep range. I believe I got 12 here. I'm unsure, but again, slowed eccentrics, really forcing sort of the recruitment through the quads on the way down, and again sort of hitting the bottom, touching the pins, which is not too much of an issue. It does create some instability. It may create even more instability on some other machines, but this one it's not too bad. So yeah, forcing all the load through the quads. I really do feel these as a very quad dominant move. So again, a less quad dominant day, but this was a quad dominant move for sure. And again, breathing wise, I like to take sort of 4 breaths at the top of each rep. So as you can see, sort of coming to the top of the rep, closing my eyes, taking 4 deep breaths, getting lots of air into the system, and then again it's descending for another rep. I am using knee sleeves on these. I'm using knee sleeves from Strength Shop. They are the single ply black knee sleeves. They are just the very basic ones. They, unlike SBD where you have to spend half a day trying to put it on your knee, these just slide up the knee. They cover the knee. They also sort of stop blood from dripping onto the machines if you've got bleeding shins. They also give you a nice little bit of warmth and support. As you can see, Amy there on the left hand side, my friend who's actually over from Australia, coming down to Brighton for a short time period, which is nice. She didn't really look too intrigued about spotting me, although she did say to me after the set, she was like, "I love watching you train," which was kind. But a lot of people say that to me now and again. To be fair, they do sort of mention that I train with a nice element of intensity, which is obviously always the goal. Now, this is a relatively new move for me. I did this when I was in the States, so they had a lot of vertical leg presses. It was kind of like a common commodity in the States, whereas in the UK it's really not. It's very rare that you see some sort of vertical version of a leg press. So I set it up on the Smith machine, and these were great. Obviously, loading is definitely taken down as a result of doing it on this as opposed to a standard leg press. So you could argue, oh my God, well, if you're not using maximal loading, what's the point? Well, yeah, good point. But you could also argue activation. Do you feel this move more than others? And I've never really felt like a wide and high leg press that much in my glutes and hams. But I felt this in my glutes and hams, and I can tell you guys, my glutes and hams are really fucked up today. So that can only be a good thing. Now, as you can see, my legs are still pretty lean, definitely from the side at least. And from the side and the front. So my glutes have got a nice layer of protection now, but my side and front of my quads and legs are quite lean still. Last move that I filmed was the Bulgarian split squat. So this was 50 kilos for 8 reps. So I got 2 sets here, and then I did one set at 35 for 15. The heaviest I've ever gone a Bulgarian split squat before today was 37.5. So it was one of those moments where I just thought, man, the fuck up, AJ, what can you actually do on this? And I shocked myself. I also finished with leg extension for more metabolite work, so high reps, 2 sets of 25. I did some adductors, some abductors, some hanging leg raises, and some calves. So a nice session. I will be sure to film more. If you like this video, let me know, guys, and have a lovely Christmas. If you're still watching this on Christmas Day, for some reason you're mental to be on the site or on my YouTube, getting a gist of what's to come on the members site. And we'll speak soon. Cheers, guys.